That's weird. Alright, good morning, you guys hear me in YouTube land? Get the Discord going here. Strange, Discord is not making any noise. Thank you, Gabriel. Alright, I'll be back in a minute after the disclaimer stuff.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept sole responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in most Apple Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account holder is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses on material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may have or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results and all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and this webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis and subs I share trades and potential trades that I take for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach trades how to identify specific areas of trading within themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky, and if you do decide to follow my personal trades, you do so at your own risk and can potentially lose your entire account and even more. I'm not always profitable and have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values and I'll be pinpointing exact prices for my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices to enter trades whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use mine to confirm the zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade, as it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which way you personally decide to trade. Alrighty, good morning. Market's pretty active. Market's pretty active right now. I guess Powell's talking again right as we speak, testifying. So, you know, I got shorts working here off this event. We'll go over everything I got on. I'm short gold. I'm long CL. I would short bonds. I just got out of those, so we'll go over all these trades. But anyway, I was long on NASDAQ initially. Did one of these. It's one off one of these events. I did a retest confirm, and I got long, and then I trailed my stop to this activity here, and the stop was actually like up here somewhere, but I moved it below this first event because I don't like stopping out in prior events, and I stopped out of the long, and now I'm working a short based on this most recent event. Got a stop run, slow stop run. This is a stop and hold. Here's your retest. If it comes back, here's my entry. This is the zone drawing tool. We'll get into all this stuff, but that's where I'll go short. You know, like I say every single day, you know, you're rolling the dice with this guy talking. Actually, I can't put this straight on now that I'm looking at this. I thought algo guy was bearish, so let me cancel these. I'm not going short though, NASDAQ, if it comes back, because that is my filter to go short. 1 second here. The only I can't put on one short. The short I will put on that I already missed, I should already be short, is the Izzy trade. So this is close enough for me. You know, this was an inflection zone. We call them Izzies. They're important. There are areas on the chart, bar charts, that are important that prior things have happened. Tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume, nose of balance areas, directional conviction, caps are directional conviction, and buying and selling tails. Those are all reasons that I draw these zones. So this was pretty close where the volume event happened, so I will get short that if it comes back down. As far as the zones and the spreadsheet that I'm using, that I'll be showing throughout the webinar, members of my trade room get access to this. It looks like this, but you get access to this and the zones. If not, you can get the zones, and if you can't get in the trade room, you can get it at my website. I'm trying to find. Hold on a second here. What do I got to do here? Hold on. I'll give you that document I posted every week. I just didn't have it up here. 1 second. Right, here it is. So I'll put this in YouTube. And again, if you guys have comments or questions or whatever, just put them in YouTube. If you're on Discord, I can't go back and forth between both comment sections, so just put them in YouTube. So I'm going to post that this document. So just quickly, here's the zone drawing tool I'm using. This is incredible. Developer in my room, a trader in my room, finally found a way to draw these zones based on these volume events that are happening with precision, and it shows you where you enter and exit. It's basically all the information that's on the spreadsheet is on the chart, including the ATR. So we got the basic version. We're beta testing the pro version, so if you do get this tool, it is the basic version right now. It's on the Bookmap Marketplace, but I'll give you, as soon as you sign up, I'll give you access to the pro beta. It's why it's beta. It's not 100% yet. The ATR is off. It's not. You got to double check your ATR and make sure it's right if you're going to use the chart to trade off of. If not, you just use the spreadsheet for now. But eventually, everything will be right, and then we'll go over all this stuff. But my indicator course will go over all my setups, and then this is what I was talking about. If you can't get in the trade room, you can go here and get access to the spreadsheet or the inflection zone charts, or both. So that's if you can't get. If you get in my trade room, if you're in my trade room, you get all this stuff for free. All right. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So I was short. We'll just quickly go over this stuff. I was short bonds here earlier. Broken ice setup. You can see here. There's two big, large buy ice areas. Big money came in and bought here. Didn't work out so well for them. And this was actually an Izzy trade. So the whole I can't think of the word, not process, but the whole strategy behind my trading is looking for real-time volume events in areas I deem important, right? So my areas are, like I just showed you, the Izzy zones, Ludwig levels, market profile composites. We'll go over these as we talk, but this was an area, as you can see right here. Market came up to this zone. There was that buy ice. Izzy trades are fade trades, right? So we're fading moves into the zones. There's different variations of the Izzy trade, but most of the time they're aggressive entries, meaning I get the volume event. The first move out of the volume event, I take the trade. So that was what happened here. I got this buy ice. It was over 2,000 or close to it. The minute it moved out of here, I got short and caught the run, and I just got out of them here. I usually get out of my full trade at the Ludwig level, and I'll show you about, there'll probably be 8 of them just today on the webinar, how ridiculously powerful these things are. So I just got out right there. So I caught a very nice move there. Here's a couple other ones from overnight. And I knew this was going to happen in NQ. I was short into the close. I actually was not here, but I put it on before I left, and it just never materialized, and I got out, and of course overnight it hit it. But you can see here, right? I mean, that's pretty good bounce there. So literally you could get long blindly. I don't do this, but I'm just making a point here of how powerful these things are. You can buy at the blue lug and then just put your offer at the red lug, go to sleep, and you get filled on that overnight. These things are insane, right? So anyway, bounced right off of the blue lug there. What did I just put on there? Hold on a second. That was CL. We'll go over CL here because I forgot to put on one of the strategies a little bit ago. And then you can see here crude, overnight, same stuff. Oh, wait, this wasn't it. This one built new lugs, but it did bounce off the blue lug a couple times, and now it's forming new lugs. Anyway, I'm long crude. We'll go over here. There was one other. Oh, gold. So I actually caught this trade too. We'll go over this. Another Ludwig level. There was a stop run up here. We call it a slug. It's one of my trading strategies here, right there. Stop run at major lug. So once again, I'm looking for a volume event at an important area. That was the red Ludwig level. Got the stop run there. I took the trade. So in this instance, I took the slug and I took an Izzy trade here. This gold has been going parabolic to the upside, but again, if I'm trading what I feel, this is very scary short, right? Well, it doesn't matter what I feel. That was a volume event at that zone, pretty much between this zone and this zone. It was right at the tip of this zone. Got the stop run, took the trade, winner, right? So that's what trading is. It's probability. So you guys have different areas that you deem important. That's absolutely fine. It's not for me to say what you think is important and not important. But I highly, highly recommend, because it's the foundation of everything I do, is you look for real-time volume events at the areas that you find important, right? So that is the whole basis of my trading. We have distinct rules of trading these volume events. Once again, I highly recommend that you follow what I'm doing until you understand. And once you watch about 4 million of them, you can start to implement your own rules to them. But either way, you need to be trading those. Speaking of which, about following the rules, we had one of the most successful traders in my room on yesterday. Hold on, I'm trying to find this. He was on the webinar. Let's see what's going on here. I'm hearing, but I'm not hearing here. All right, so we had gold. All right, well, I didn't hear the ES stop, so here's some ES. I know how much you guys all love to trade this ES. It's just such an exciting market, so we'll cover it. I trade it too, but it's not, I'm telling you guys, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're just staring at this crappy market all day long. Anyway, here's a stop run in an ISI zone. If this fails, I'm taking an ISI short, right? Yesterday, once again, felt like it was going to die. I guess I left here early, but there was some Bancorp news and like they were going under or something. I haven't heard a follow-up, but then the markets looked like they were going to die, and as usual, the bungee jump every single time. So here we are again. This is an area where this directional conviction started the other day. This was a failed breakout of this zone. Of this balance area. So this is an important area. It's still bullish, but I will take it short here if this fails. So if the market's truly bullish, then this volume event will not prove bearish. How do I prove it's bearish? From watching so many of these, I've determined that if the market is able to push an ATR, a current ATR, it's just everything's firing off today. A current ATR, or whatever the current ATR is, I'm using a 5-minute Wilder's ATR. If it's able to push away from there an ATR, then that determines the likelihood of what the volume event is, right? So let me. So guys, remember, I'm still putting on these trades, and I'm going to share this YouTube, the webinar we did with Lance yesterday. He's the trader in my trade room that turned 150 grand into 1.7 million and counting in a year, following these exact methods, right? I'll post that here in a second. But he literally came on yesterday. And he's showing his P&L on TraderSync, right? And he has lost $19,000 trading while Fed guys are talking, right? So it's fine if you want to trade. I'm going to put on this trade, but I know the risk. If this Fed ringleader says something, Powell, and he says something, I'm short, and he says one keyword that's bullish, the thing's going to go like that, and I'm going to get stopped out. I accept that risk. You can say, and he does not trade during Fed speak anymore. He said, I got sick of losing every time they're talking. I don't trade during the talk. So you guys have to decide if you're willing to talk when they're talking. If you do trade while they're talking, then you got to accept the results if they say something contrary to your trade. All right, so let's just I may be able to trade right off the chart here instead of the spreadsheet, because I just got to make sure this ATR is right. So this ATR is showing at 4.90. I think our swim's showing at 4.50, so that's a little too far for me, so I'll just plug it in the spreadsheet. So if the ATR is off, just use the spreadsheet if you have it. If you don't have it, highly recommend it. It's incredible. You plug in your zones, you plug in the ATR, plug in your risk. There's just everything is fired off here. I'll come back to IQ here's a second. We'll see what's going on here. All right, so I was going to short the ISI here. That's off the table because this zone disqualified as a short setup because it touched the ATR above there, and now we got a new event, so I can trade now. I'm fresh stuff off of this new event. We'll see where we're at there. I believe that's the ISI zone again, so I will short it if it fails. I lost my chart. So on the flip side, like I'll take a short here on the short strategy, the ISI strategy, right? If that does that. If it goes up here and validates as a long setup, aka hits the ATR, then I can take barks and licks, different trading strategies to the long side. My filter for those trades is algo guy. So this is what it's just, we call it algo guy. It's an exponential moving average. A lot of algos are based off of this thing, right? So the way I decipher it is if the blue is above the red, it's bullish. I mean, that's what's going on, and then I will only take barks and licks in that direction. I will not take shorts for those strategies if this guy's different, because I went back and, you know, the Trader Sync stuff, I went back and looked at most of my losers were with the bark and lick trade were against algo guys. So then I started to use that as my filter. You don't have to use it as your filter. You don't have to use anything that I'm using, but I'm showing you what I use. And like I said, there are traders using it as well and doing very well. Before I forget, let me post this webinar. Where are we at here? Alright, this should work. This is in the YouTube room as well. Watch that. It's a great webinar. You know, he does most of the talking. Just listen to him. He's not trading. He's just talking about his experiences, and I think it was very eye-opening for some traders, just as far as, you know, he's like, I have losses and too, and this is how, you know, I just keep putting on the trades. I just follow the rules is basically what he was saying. All right, let's plug this in the spreadsheet real quick. So this zone was 48.75 down to 47. Alright, there's a lot of stuff firing off in grades. I just haven't had a chance to get over there. 4.66 your current ATR. So let's just see how far off this is. So to validate this, it's showing me the ATR. With this ATR, it's showing me at, you can see the bottom left there, 53.75. And then with the current ATR, it's showing me 53.50. So pretty close, right? So I'm still going to follow the spreadsheet because this ATR is off a little bit, is what I'm saying. So if this touches 53.50, this isn't officially a bullish setup. Then my Izzy short's off the table. If this touches basically 42, then my barks and licks are off the table because this is proven to be a short setup, and then I'm going to go short at the yellow line. That's the aggressive short, and this will be the Izzy trade that I just showed. So I will short. I'll put this in now if that happens. If this moves out of here, I'm shorting at 41.75 based on my risk. That's not right. I can put on 9 contracts. I'll round up. So I'm going to short the Izzy strategy right there, not right there, right there. Inflection zone. Take fade trades with moves into prior inflection zones. First, 115% of an ATR move out of the zone. We have exceptions, but this is not one of them. I'll cover them when those come up. So I will short that if this fails out of here. And like I said, he's talking, so you gotta decide if you're gonna trade these kind of setups right now. All right, so that's Izzy 41.75. All right, that's working. Now let's go to Mr. NQ because there's an Izzy here too. Where's my chart? That's not it. Hold on. Do this every time I lose the chart, and then I gotta. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so this is even closer to the zone. So this is the trade I was going to take earlier. Now here's a volume event at the bottom of the zone where this thing gapped down, huge directional conviction. Very high probability this will do this again. If it doesn't, then I don't put the trade on if it doesn't fail out of here. And it's telling you something too, right? If this rips right through the zone, you better be ready to go along with both hands, as they say, right? This is a very important zone right now. This was the breakdown of this balance as well. So this could move a little higher in here, but it's going to have some resistance very likely here, if not right here, because this is where this, remember, I have this is a regular trading hours chart, so I can see the gaps. Gaps are directional conviction, so you can see this led to about a 500 point move. That's a lot, especially on the downside, especially in this market environment. So this is something happened up here, and this is a very important area. So I have no problem shorting right here. 31.50 to 24.50. I think this ATR is right on actually. So let's check that. This ATR is showing 25.84. Yeah, it's a little higher, 24.35. It was right on earlier. All right, so I'll plug this in that spreadsheet too, just so I get the most accurate prices. 18, 231.50. And then 18, 224.50. ATR, what did I say? 24.35 now. So if I take the Izzy short, I'm going short at 96.50. I can put on 4 based on my risk. But let's see where that's at. So let's see here. So you see where the entry is here, right? It's basically smack dab in the middle zone. That's just the yellow line. It's pretty close. This is showing 95. I got 96.50 just because my ATR is a little different. You got to decide. Like, I hate entering in prior events. Why? Because these are where traders are trapped. When it comes back, they want the hell out of their trade. Anyone that holds on and holds their breath as it comes back, they get out, right? So there's a lot of activity here. You got to make a decision. You're either going to just enter right smack dab in all this activity, or you can move it below here. Are you willing to risk another 25 points, you know, to take your fill here? It's a safer trade that you won't get one of these, but you got to risk another 25 points. So you got to take that. I know what an important area this is as far as a potential failure. So I'm just going to bite the bullet and enter in all this prior activity. I know I'm pretty much in store for, even if when I get filled, even if the trade works, I'm probably going to get that and tortured for who knows how long because of this prior activity that's here. Once it clears this, then it's going to be free fall, I believe. So again, I don't know. I just follow my rules. Nobody knows. Anyone who tells you they know is full of it. All right, so 96.50. I'm just, like I said, I'm biting the bullet. I'm going to short that right in the middle of that activity. Set this up. All right, that's working. And then where else? I'm going to see if there's any other areas I can be shorting up here. This isn't quite a pick trade, so this is Profiles Encouraged. That's the name of the strategy. Again, it was a book by JFK. I try to make these strategies funny, memorable, right? So that's this trade, Profiles Encouraged. Pick, we call it for short. Take any trade that moves it in a market profile, composite high or low. Well, if it moves up a little higher, I'll take it. Right here, I'm not. It's not quite there. But if we get an event up there, I'll take it, and that'll still be in the Izzy zone. So if we say we get another stop run and it's into that, then I'm going to take pick and Izzy shorts, potentially. So right now I got the Izzy trade working short if this fails up here. Let's see, we're at here too. So this is pretty close to a pick trade. I don't love pick trades just where you're playing the tops and the bottoms, like if it's been sitting in the zone, but I do like pick trades the best pick trades are like when it breaks out, comes back, you get the volume event, you take it that way, breaks down, comes back, get the volume event. The other pattern is when the market tries to break out, gets back in, comes back, you get the volume event, you take it that way, tries to break down, comes back in, comes back, you take it that way. So that's when I introduced that strategy, that's the main ways to trade them. I do also like when you get straight moves into them too. So this moves a little higher, you're not only going to have a pick, you're going to have a slug here too. So, but my point is that there's nothing to do for me right here as far as pick. I'm still going to take the Izzy trade. We already showed the Izzy zone, so that's working right now if this area fails, right? But I've got other strategies in mind. So you should have all this stuff laid out in your mind. So when shit starts hitting the fan, pardon my language, you're not a deer in headlights. Like, where are we on the charts? Oh my God, what strategy? You should have this all planned out. Like, okay, I planned out. Like, I'm going to short. I got the Izzy working. But I know if there's another move up, now we're at market profile, composite high, lug. So I got a slug. I got a pick I can put on and an Izzy as well on a new event. See what I'm saying? So have all that mapped out in your mind so you're not panicking trying to figure out where the hell we are. Oh, that's working. Natural gas number comes out in 5 minutes. So there is some activity in there. I'm not trading into the natural gas number. Let's see what's going on in grains. Do not ignore grains. These things move. Speaking of other things that moved, I'll show you some examples here. Bitcoin and Ethereum. These volume events in here are running the show. I heard something here earlier. for the cash market. It's crazy. As crazy as it sounds, it's working. Like that works. And I posted. Let's see here. I posted this a few weeks ago. Somebody laughed at me, and then it came out that this is exactly what's going on. Let's see here if I can find it. What am I doing here? Where do you see why am I blanking here? Where I see my activity? Oh, notifications. Right here. So I said it, I said it back another day about there was a big event. There was like 50 buy icebergs in Bitcoin, and I showed like the move that occurred after that, and someone laughed at me. And then this came out literally like a day later, 2 days later. All the Bitcoin moves have been due to futures liquidations. So these setups work in Bitcoin just like they work in silver or ES or NG. Once again, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're just staring at ES all day long, because there's money to be made in all these markets, these setups. It's just common sense. We're just looking for concentrated traders that are offsides, and we take advantage of it. That's all it is. It couldn't be more simple. What I'm doing looks like you look at this chart, you're like, what the hell is all this? When you know what it is, it's very, very simple. It's not rocket science. And that's the way I like it. I've always, like, anyone who doesn't know my story, I made millions of dollars. I made $15 million over 3-4 year period, literally just staring at this. It doesn't get much more simple than that, right? So if I can make $15 million just staring at the order book, you think you'd want to keep the stuff as simple as possible. I don't do that anymore. It's not because I don't want it. I wish I could do that. I wish I could stare at this and make $15 million again. It's not possible, in my opinion. And I get so many emails about how to trade off the dome. You can't. It's too hard. These algos are too quick. This stuff is so fleeting. You can't rely on any size in here. Stop trying to trade off this. We have other scalping methods with the market pulse from Bookmap. We'll get into that potentially today. But the point is, keep your trading simple. I'm going to take a look here. Wheat was flaring up too. So there's a bunch of buy ice coming in here in wheat, and there's buy ice coming here in soybeans too. So let's just take a quick look where we're at in the bigger picture. I don't care if you guys don't trade grains or not. You can still learn how I look at it. I don't care what product you give me. It's the same stuff with the structure, and all this is doing is showing you where traders are taking positions, AK balance areas, right? So I don't care if you're looking at beans, wheat, Bitcoin, same stuff. Here you go. Here's Bitcoin. How are these zones working? Same stuff. Then the other day, there was a volume event. Was it in here? I think it was in here. Someone in my room posted it, and I showed them the buy ice, and you got like a $5,000 move. Here, I'll show you here, actually. Let's see if I can find this stuff. Just so I know there's a lot of Bitcoin traders out there. What day was that? Hold on, guys. All right, so that volume event in ES validated. So this is what I'm trying to find here. So this was
MG1 and draw 40 BCF, draw 40 BCF, lower than the expected draw 37 BCF.
right here. We were talking in my trade room this afternoon. That afternoon, buy ice came in. It was this zone here, $5,000 move out of there the next night. This never violated. So 25 is the threshold. This is close to probably 50 when you add all these together. This stuff's running the show. And here's Ethereum too. Same thing. This one elicited look at this one. Sell ice. Right? I got 15 as my threshold. This was probably triple that right there. Led to this was during the trading day. This led to whatever this is, a $500 move or $400 move. That's a big move when it's only $3,000. That's over 15%, right? So the point is, pay attention to the stuff in there too. I'll come to grains in a second. I just want to see where we are here. All right, so this validated to the long side. Now for those trading strategies, I will put on barks and licks. I don't want to. I want to go short these markets because I hope they go to zero, but it doesn't matter what I want. volume event. This is a stop and hold. This is one of my six distinct setups. Trying to find this. I show this every week, but I know there's always new traders on here. This is my trading course. Here's the setups. So you get all this stuff with the course, right? You get add-ons, settings, thresholds, how to use the sweeps, all this stuff, how to draw the zones. Now we have this automatic zone drawers. You don't have. There are still some guys even in my trader room doing it manually. I don't know why, because it's way easier with the auto. I don't think it's that expensive for what I think the amount paid versus what you get is minuscule. But you know, make your own decisions there. Anyway, these are all my setups, right? So this is all I do. I look for these distinct setups in important areas. So that right there in ES was a stop and hold. A stop run where the stop runs are usually dumb money pukes, right? Stop runs are dumb money pukes, and they usually are. It's a retail trader puke, right? And I'm a retail trader too, so don't be offended. But it's not usually initiative buying. It's guys puking out positions, so they're more prone to do that versus continue. Well, this one in ES continue. That tells me there's bigger money behind the move, right? If they can hold. And so this is a stop and hold. So now we get this. So one of the guys that doesn't have his own drawing tool said, because I'm a caveman, and one of the other traders said earlier, you're what did she call him? That's pretty funny. I was laughing out loud. Let's see. Not a barbarian. What did she call him? Because he doesn't have the drawing tool, he's doing it by hand. I can't remember what she said. It made me laugh. All right. Anyway, so I'm waiting for a retest of the zone. So the way I trade these strategies, the BARC, meaning BARC just stands for Blind ATR Retest Confirm. When you watch that webinar with Lance, he keeps saying BARF. He has it because it used to be BARF. We used to call it Blind ATR Retest Fail, and we changed it to Confirm. So when you hear him saying BARF, sorry, wrong one. When you hear him saying BARF, he's talking about this. We just changed the last acronym, confirmed from fail. So that's what he's talking about if you watch that webinar with him. So anyway, I'm waiting for the retest, confirm. I'll take BARC long, and I'll take. I'm not seeing much liquidity there. I mean, this is liquidity right here, but this would not be a liquidity trade for me, right? Because I'm getting in right here. Liquidity is right here. Is that a good risk reward to try to get there, risking all the way down here? No. And I don't really see anything major up here, so I would not take the lit trade here to the upside. So we'll see what happens if this. I can't take a short off here now, right? So remember, I was working a short, Izzy short down here at whatever this 41 quarter. That's canceled, aka DQ, disqualified, because it proved to be a bullish setup. So that setup is done for any shorts, potential shorts for me. You can do whatever you want with these. If you say, well, I don't care about that, this is a stop run. If this fails, I'm going short. Do whatever you want to do. I came up with my own rules after watching millions of them. If you watch millions of them and come up with a different conclusion, then go for it. And if it's awesome, let me know, and I'm always open to new ideas, something that I'm missing. I am not a trader that thinks I know it all. Not even close. The more I learn, the more I understand what I don't know. Kind of like the golf swing. Don't even get me started with that. All right, let me cancel this. All right, so all I can really do here is go long. I'm waiting for a retest of that zone. I still have an Izzy working here in NQ. This has not done anything. It's just sitting in the zone. We don't know if this is a bullish or bearish event, so waiting for that. Gold, I'm still short some. I did miss. Oh no, yeah. So what I did here in gold, we talked about the earlier trade I put on. I put on the Izzy trade short. Got out of some at the yellow lug. Those are one of the areas. So I have distinct areas. I get out of, right? So one of the main things when you watch the webinar with Lance. So Lance follows. He's been doing this for a year. So he has developed his own trading methodology around what I'm doing. So he took my blueprint and then he's made it his own. That's exactly what I want from you guys. This is not my trade room. These webinars are not, hey, buy here, sell here, or sell here, buy here, blah, blah, blah. It's learn how I'm doing it. Either do it like I'm doing it, or say, okay, yeah, I like that aspect of it. I like that aspect of it. I don't like that aspect of it. And then then you watch Lance's webinar. Oh yeah, I like what he says there. And then you develop your own trade plan. That's the whole idea. It's not to mirror my trades. Anyway, Lance gets in at the exact same areas based on these events, based on the rules. He gets out differently. He doesn't wait for these. So these are the areas that I get out at, right? Potentially, or peace out at. Right here, I pay myself as the market. This is right out of Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. And these are the areas I get out at, right? He trades very differently. He gets out at, he uses the TAS boxes. I used to use those. He uses Algo Guy to confirm. He's like, what he said, watch the webinar. It's a great webinar. He's like, I've noticed almost all of them elicit some type of profit, right? They don't, some of them go a little bit and then do that. Some of them go really far, but most of them are, you have some type of profit. So he likes to get out of some basically right away. He was saying yesterday he likes to get out, between 5 and 10 points, he'll get out, whatever he's looking at. And guys, I have never once ever said you have to wait for my areas, or you need to wait for 2R before you get out of the trade, because I still think this is the most ridiculous thing too. I understand the principles behind, when you put on a trade, you want to be risking 1 to make 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah. But does that mean you just put it on and you hold it until you get 5 ATR? Like, that makes no sense to me. Anyway, he gets out right away out of a lot of his stuff. And that's perfectly fine. The only thing I have ever said that I think is it's my, probably tied for first, my pet peeve of all traders, and I'm going to try not to go down the rants, where traders get in these trades and they have a winner and it's in their face and they're like, I'm moving my stop to break even. And then they have something like that happen and they're out of the trade, and then turns around and then they're sitting there pissed off the rest of the day. They missed a 50-point trade. That makes no sense to me. The market does not care where you want to save money or not lose money or whatever. Use your stops based on what's happening in the market. So when I get in a trade, so say I got in that trade, my stop is I force the market to come back the full ATR or whatever, it could be multiple ATRs. I force it to get back through the volume event. I force it to push outside of an ATR, and then I say I'm wrong. Some people don't do that, but I'm telling you, most of the time it's just this. And what do you think? Look at the algos in this market alone. This is gold. Look at this. If it looks like a Christmas tree, those are algos pulling and putting in liquidity nonstop. When the big money's not playing, you're going to get that. Well, do you want to just let them take your money when nothing's going on, and this is all you're going to see, right? So I'm short gold right now still, and it's a torture fest. Did I trail my stop just because I didn't want to break? I didn't want to give back money? No, my stop's up here based on this new event. So that's the main thing that I say, don't do. If you want to trail to break even, go ahead. I think it's the dumbest thing you can do. The second dumbest thing you can do, tied for first as my biggest pet peeve, I was going to use a not nice word, you traders that love to say, my profit goal is $5,000 today. Okay, I hit my profit goal. I'm done trading, man. I got my $5,000 in the bank. What? Why? We all know how difficult trading is most days. If you are seeing it clearly, and Lance talks about this in the webinar too, if you are seeing it clearly, why would you stop at $5,000? Make $10,000. If you made 10, make 20. I'm not saying you make $5,000 and you keep trading till you give it all back. And that Lance gives a verbal lash. You knew a couple traders in the room, because a lot of traders contact him and ask what he's doing. And he literally says, like, how could you possibly, I think he used the example of up $1,500, because I guess one trader actually did this. And he said, I was up $1,500 and I ended up down $500 for the day. And Lance, like, how could you do that? So I'm not saying you get up $1,500 and you keep trading and then you end up losing $500. I'm saying if you get up $1,500, if you have a profit goal for the day, absolutely fine. You don't stop. You say, okay, I got my profit goal. Now my rules are, if I get back 20% of that, now I'm done. Meaning I put on one more trade, and if that trade is a loser, then I'm done. Fine. Give yourself a chance to have a loser. This $1,500 could be $15,000 on an awesome day. What are you doing? What are you doing if you're stopping right when you hit a profit goal? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, literally. And I told you guys, that was my motivator when I started at my trading firm, King Street Trading, in 2001. I would see these guys, and they would be like, I'd walk out of I'd be watching just right when I was learning. It was like the opening. It'd be 8:45 Central. I'd walk out of my office to go get a drink or something, and I'd see like 6 guys in the game room, like playing ping pong and stuff. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? But then I could come to learn, like, they For some reason, at that time, $5,000 was the magic number. They hit their $5,000 profit goal, turned off their computer, and then played video games and ping pong the rest of the day. That's like, what the hell? So I would be like, well, why would you not sit here and make 10, 20, 30, 40? Like, makes no sense to me. So anyway, that was my driver for why I did so well, because I said, if these idiots can make money, I know I can make money. So that's what kept my persistence in the markets and trading. Like, I'm like, okay, if these guys can make money and be this dumb, then I know I can do it, right? So that was my driver. So anyway, please don't be those guys. All right, still didn't get the retest of this. Fill in this liquidity, nothing going on there. NASDAQ will not get out of this zone, so don't know what I'm doing with this yet. This filled liquidity too. This is all very, very shocking if you've ever watched my webinars or watched market action. This is unheard of, meaning it's not unheard of. That's all that happens, because this is the big money that wants their fills, and they will push the market into the orders. How do I know that? Because that's what I used to do when I was a big trader. That's what all the trading setups are based off of. I used to load up the order book. I used to be able to put on 3,000 contracts at my height, my high reign, right? And then I would sit here and start buying some here, buy some, and then I'd see how the market reacted. And then if there was no one willing to sell, then I would just step on the gas, buy a flurry of them, whatever I had left, and it would just run right into my offers, and I'd be out of the trade, make 30 grand, 50 grand, or whatever it was, on to the next game. And it was just literally playing that game all day long. Well, that's exactly what they're doing with you now. So if you understand the game, aka you can pull up your chart in the morning, we talk about coming up with the thesis and what's going on, you see where this liquidity is, and you say, okay, yeah, you know what? Like down here. So you're pre-market, you open the thing, and you're like, wow, there's liquidity there. Wow, I'm already bullish because of this, and this, and I know the big money's going to get their fills, so I'm going to wait for my strategy, whatever I'm looking at, aka volume event, hopefully, and I'm going to go long, and I'm going to play, those are my targets. There you go, you got filled on both of them, because they get what they want, because of the big money. It doesn't mean it just goes straight to the liquidity every time. That would be pretty damn easy, right? If trading was easy, everybody would do it. It does mean the odds, this could drop 200 points before it comes back up here. But if you know it's there, you can act accordingly. That's the point. All right, I got to take a breath. See you guys got any questions here. Rav Sony, hello Scott. Algo guy indicator consists of moving averages, and I believe it's on Renko chart. All right, guys, I post this every single, and I know you've been in here, Narav, before. I post this every single webinar, I think. Pretty close. Here you go. Let me find it. Right here. This is, it's going to be posted in the YouTube channel. It is an exponential moving average ribbon. That's all it is. All these are different little different time frames. If you want the settings, this is all part of my trade room. You can come in and you can actually get the Thinkorswim, even though I'm gonna boot Thinkorswim here soon. I keep saying that, but I'm gonna do it. You can get my templates for Thinkorswim, so you don't even have to construct this. I think this is default anyway. I can't remember. Anyway, guys, so this is, remember back to what I said earlier in the webinar, how I'm open to learning new things. I don't think I know it all. You always can learn something. I learned this from a guy I was mentoring. So how about that, right? I had no idea this even existed, and he had told me he'd made millions of dollars with this thing at one point, and then he wasn't doing well with it, and he wanted to see if this was like 4 or 5 years ago, and he said, I wanted to see if these volume events could help with this, how I trade this. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, wow, this thing's pretty ridiculous. Especially when it crosses, you get these outlets. Why we call it algo, guys. When this thing crosses, when the blue crosses, the short term crosses the long term, you just get these flurries of algos, aka algo guy, that jump in and then go that way. It's just, I just saw it. It's very simplistic the way I'm looking at it. The other way the guy would trade it, the main way he would trade it was he would wait for the cross. He would wait for a pullback into the red, and as soon as it got back above the blue, he would buy it, and then he would put a stop below it, right? So you can come up with all these different strategies. Watch that video. You can come up with probably 15 different strategies in the video I just posted. That's the way he would trade it. And he's like, is there a way I can use these volume events to trade this? And then we came up with a strategy for him. So the point is, he taught me it, and I'm like, wow, this thing is pretty ridiculous. When this thing crosses, or when it pulls back to the red or the blue, these are great potential trade areas, and that's how it was born. Again, I am full. Same with Lubbock levels. We had a guy, Short Squeeze Chris. He made He made like $2 million in a year's time, but he kept talking. He just would not shut up about these Ludwig levels. Like, they blow everything I've ever seen out of the water. I'm like, what? Okay, I'll watch it. So I watched it for like 3 months. Then I started to see stuff like this, right? Like, not that one. This is an NQ today, or this last night. Then I kept seeing this, and I'm like, yeah, I might want to pay attention to these things, right? Yeah, I might want to pay attention to them. And it's just over and over and over. And then not only for support and resistance, you got them for targets, you can come up with a thesis when it builds new ones. So anyway, a guy in my trade room kept harping on this, and I don't just throw stuff into my trading lightly like a lot of traders do. They find out the greatest new shiny indicator and throw it in their charts. I watch this thing for probably 4 or 5 months, and then I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then we had a webinar with Mrs. Ludwig. I'll post that too. I post that every webinar too. Let's see if I can find that. Hold on. And I'm fine with it, guys. I know there's a lot of new traders on here, but it's just, if you've been in here before and you're asking the same questions, I'm not understanding why you don't listen when I talk about it the other 500 times. I will find it here. Here, this is actually from Short You can see right here. This was from him back in the day. He made so much money, he went on and he was doing something else, right? Anyway, we can all do this together. We just use it. This was from 2021, 3 years ago, almost to the day. We can do this together if we just use our heads and help each other. You guys are truly blessed to have the opportunity to learn from Scott. There you go. That's all you need to know. Just kidding. All right, that's fine. I know the webinar is here. One of these. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I think I knocked it out of this channel because you can only have so many. Hold on. Let me just find it for you guys. If you guys know where it's at in here in my trade room, please post it in the general main chat so I don't have to sit here and spend 10 minutes searching for this stuff. I thought it was in Trade Room Basics. If you guys, someone find it for me and post it, please, so I don't spend this webinar searching for it. But it's a webinar I had with Pamela. So then Pamela Ludwig, who's in the room, she's trader gal in my room, right? And we talked, and it's an awesome webinar. To me, right when I learned them, it's very basics, but it's very eye-opening. And then I started using them, and I've been using them for 3 years now, over 3 years. So awesomeness. The second strongest thing I've ever seen in trading, futures trading, besides the SI indicator, or the SI subchart stuff. All right, let's see what's firing off here. We got NQ again. All right, so what's going on here now? This is finally moving out of this area. So these are stop and holds. There's your bias that just popped up. So there's a potential way I can go long, possibly this one, definitely that one, and or that one, Barks and Licks. This is the most recent event, so you got to be careful if you're going to trade like 2 events prior. As long as this one doesn't turn bearish, which you can see that line right there. So there is a way I can still trade this first one over here, and it's still valid. Why? Because this is not proven bearish. If this one proves bearish, well, then I can't take, like, say this came down here and touched this blue, that's the ATR line. Well, I can't trade along off of that because this one's bearish. But there's a way I can trade off that one. There's a way I can trade off of this one. And obviously I can trade off of that one, depending on what happens here. So we will watch this closely. But where are we right now? This is where the area I was talking about. So it's higher up in this zone. Volume event. That's a potential Izzy short if this fails. Then we have, this was the pick area that I said. Well, it's kind of through here now. So I wouldn't take the pick here. It's too far into this. Remember, I was willing to do it there. I'm not taking a pick trade there. We're talking about fading the edges. That's inside that. So other than that, say this moves up higher. Well, now actually I'm probably not going to take the bark and the lick longs here off of this most recent event. I would off the other event because the red lug's so close. We just got done talking about Ludwig levels. I know how powerful these things are. I don't want to be taking longs right into them. That's my choice. Again, when you're coming up with your own trade plan, you make the determination whether, and you use Ludwig levels, which I highly recommend. You make the determination if you want to trade into the lug, if you're okay with it. A great determining factor is if you're seeing really high relative volume, it has much more possibility of busting through the lugs and forming new lugs, kind of like it did down here, right? Form new lugs when you're getting higher relative volume. Right now, it's basically this is a relative volume chart that's showing me the exact 5-minute period for the last 30 days. So it's a great gauge on if something out of the ordinary is happening. This is Paul's still talking, by the way, too. Shocking. This is basically just normal volume coming through right now. So my point is, if it gets up to the lug and you just see normal volume or less, it's very likely to do that versus bust through. So that's how you can determine if, hey, I want to take this long into the lug. All right, so regardless, I can't take the pick short. I can take the Izzy short here off of this last. This would be a broken ice event, and it's trying to do it right now. There you go. See, guys, all this is every keyword that comes out of this clown's mouth, the market's reacting to. That's why you got to be okay with if you're trading while he's talking. So I'm going to be the clown that trades off of the clown, and I will put on a short here. And did this, yeah, so this just invalidated. Is that right? Yeah. So I cannot take any longs now, which is fine by me, right? This one just validated as a short. Actually, I need to be getting short here. I'm just going to take this right here. You know why? I know it's in a prior event, but I got a new event that I could trail my stop to. So I'm going to short this right now. Hold on, NQ. We're just going to use this price right now, 30. This shows my position sizing too. You can see this is right what's in the spreadsheet, right? You put in your capital, how much you want to risk. This is showing me micros. If you're trading, I mean, this is showing me normal contract. You just times it times 10 for more micros. So I can trade 4 micros here. I'm going short here at 18,243.
The dollar slips to a fresh 6-week low versus the euro. The euro last up 0.29% to 1.0928.
This is the Izzy trade, right? We just looked at the zone. Please don't tell me I lost the chart. Here we go. Right. So what am I doing? An important area. Volume event. Take the trade. That's what I'm doing here. And this got to the bottom of this. We've already talked about how important this area is. Led to that, got a little bit above there, but now you're putting in a selling tail. That's not bearish or bullish, and it's failing at this balance area that broke down. I'm perfectly fine with this trade. I know I'm going against. I know it's probably gonna rip another 1,000 points here, but these are my rules. I have to follow my rules. So now what I can do here too, I'm going to enter there if it comes back. Now my stop, you can see where my stop would be originally. Say this last stop run didn't happen here, right? My stop would be up here, right? Now I'm going to trail it to that. And I just got filled. So I'm going to move it just out of there, so I don't stop out in here. So I'm going to move it to just above here. I'll put it at 85. Actually, I'll move it above the spot gamma level too. I'll put it at 86. So I'm short now. Short this. Stop goes at 86. Should be where this yellow line is. I just moved it out of this event. That's all I did, and moved it above this spot gamma level. So I got it at 86. It was up here. So I'm saving myself already 30 points just because of the new event. This is how I trail my stop. So say I got short and this didn't happen. I'm short. This happened. Now I trail my stop. I don't trail my stop because I want to break even. If it comes back, I don't want to lose money. I think we covered that already. My pet peeve. All right, so now I'm just going to move this to 86. We are short Izzy. There you go. And like I said, 10 times already in this webinar, Paul's talking. You've got to accept the results. If he says something that's bullish, and he probably will, because that's how they roll. All right, I'm already long crude, and you got another buy ice event here. I'm not going to put on another trade long because it's basically in the same area. What I could do here, though, is put on a bark and lick now. See, algo guy's not agreeing with my bark and lick trades. So if this pulls, and you do want to pay attention, if this does pull, we just talked about this. The blue pulls over the red, you're going to get those algos that start that wave up, kind of like they jumped in when it crossed that way, right? So you can see. So say you're the guy that I learned this from. This is exactly what he would trade. He'd go, the market would pull back into the red, and then the minute it crossed the blue, he would go short, and he'd put his stop above the red. You can do it again and again, and then you catch the move. So this is what he would do, right? Be my guest if you want to trade that trading strategy. All I'm saying is make sure you get volume events if you want to make it, legitimately an edge. All right, let's see if you guys got any questions. I already answered you. I wish I could do this full time. Good info here. Thank you, Jay. Madam Shizzle. Kate Boy. That's when I was talking about the other stuff. No, she called them other than something else, like not a Neanderthal. What did she call? Just scroll up. She just said it a little bit ago. Boogie. That was her. I was laughing out loud. Trading Bitcoin. I just showed that. It's a couple setups in Bitcoin. Yes, you can definitely trade. You can trade Bitcoin futures, or you can trade the cash off of the SI setups in the futures. Called the Mason method. Thank you, long validated. Thank you guys for. So we talk about that too. So this is what I want from my trading room. If you're coming in my trading room, be prepared to participate. If you don't, you're going to get verbal lashings, and I pretty much don't want you in there anyway. Right? I want this to be like a trading firm. We're all at a desk. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. Posting charts, right? Like there's probably a handful of people that do that. And these are the people that are doing well. Wow, that's a shocker, isn't it? So the more you participate, the better you're going to do. Even if you're wrong, there's no one going to like, I'm not going to give you verbal lashing if you're new and you're trying to understand and you put something. If it's wrong, we're going to correct you and you learn, right? If you're in there for a year and you do something stupid, and you heard the verbal lashing I gave one of the guys a couple weeks ago who trailed the stop to break even and missed a huge move in gold. He got a verbal lashing for a week, right? So verbal lashings, and Lance talks about the verbal lashings on the webinar too, that I posted earlier. But the point is they're meant to be educational and funny. You know, it's not funny being embarrassed, but you're going to remember the moment, right? That's the whole point. All right, what was I doing here? Oh, it's bugging me. I want to hear what she called him when he didn't do the. I know you can search here. Here, it was just. Let's see. That's what you call it. You're a savage, drawing zones by hand. That made me laugh, Boogie. Good job. I don't laugh very often while I'm getting whipsawed in these markets, so I needed that one. All right, so the other thing I did here in gold, and I'm still short the Izzy. We didn't really cover the rest of this. I've short Izzy. And I still have some of those on. I got out of some of the yellow lug. We'll look at that. And then I put on a bark and lick here too on that move. So, and the stops up here, I trailed it based on the most recent events. So I got those on too. The problem is here, I probably shouldn't have put on the lick. So we talk about this in my room because I would have put on the lick trade if I would have seen this at the time. But it already tagged the lick and then I saw it later and got in, right? So it's like I don't usually put on a trade when it comes back if I already been out of some. I already been out of the lick trade, so this is kind of a stupid trade. If I lose on it, I deserve it, but there is more liquidity down here. So I'm okay with it, but I usually don't do that. So anyway, I did get that first short I got in that we talked about earlier. So these are one of my areas I get out at. So here's the other thing too, guys. So I had a guy yesterday who he'd say, I'm going to join your trade room, and he's asked me like 15 questions. It's like, dude, I don't even usually talk to my own trade room this much. People that are in my trade room, let alone a guy that can't just commit to coming in here and trying to get all this information to confirm what I'm doing is right? So, or works, there's an edge, right? So anyway, this is an area I get out at, right? So it came down there, I got out at half, went a little bit below. This is one of my areas. So then he's like, I saw on the Trustpilot how you said you'd show your you give your P&L stats for your trades, and I just want to see those if I can. And guys, so first of all, you all know that I used to be $1 million trader. I'll go over this again. I went over it yesterday. It's a little bit of a rant. Here's the deal. What you see with me is what you get. I am a real person, a real trader. Nothing is sugar-coated. There's no pictures of me standing in front of Ferraris or none of that bullshit. Okay, pardon my language. Everybody knows my story, or you should know my story if you're going to come into the room, whatever. I was a multi-million-dollar trader a long, long time ago. It feels like a different lifetime, right? From 2002 to 2000 beginning of 2005, I made $15 million. And I'm going over the story because nothing's going on, so we'll go over this once again because I want to clarify because I just want you guys to try to comprehend what I'm saying here at the end of this, right? Great. That's great. How does that do? What have you done for me lately? This market, this profession is what have you done for me lately? Who gives a flying F what I made back then, right? So great. So first of all, let's go over this. When people hear, wow, you made $15 million, right? Even guys out here, like I'm playing golf and people know my story. What happened to all that money, man? Why are you just loaded and blah, blah, blah? So first of all, when you make $15 million, I was splitting with my trading firm. That knocks it down to $7.5 million. Then you pay taxes. It was like 40% taxes. So let's just say $4 million. That's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Is $4 million a lot of money when you have a lifestyle and then you stop making money? Yeah, it's a lot of money for a while, and then it goes like that, right? So in 2005, 2006-ish, this stuff, and you can read all about this in this book too. Here's documented proof of everything that I've done and everything else for everyone that questions me like I'm lying, right? Read this book. I'm the entire afterword of the book. This guy's probably the top trading psychologist on the planet. Read the book. He sat behind me for a year. He watched me trade, right? So this talks about my exploits. It talks exactly about this and that, right? Right at the end of the book, he talks about how I had my first losing year, and then it just went like that after that, right? So the point is, there's many points of it, but I could not make money anymore. Why? So this is why you always want to be adapting with your trading, right? So I was just killing it. I was just printing money. $15 million is a lot of. 2003, I made $10 million. You got to average $50,000 each trading day to make $10 million. That's a lot of money, right? I was killing it. And then all of a sudden, this stuff started happening, aka algos. And at the time, it was like a 10 vol. So there was no volatility. The market would do nothing for hours, right? And the algos were just doing this. And then, big money would come in and it would run me over. Remember I told you the games I was playing in the order book? Well, it would run me over. And then I wouldn't have the opportunity to make it back, right? Because the volatility was so low. It would crush me. I'd have all these orders in the order book. Paper would come in and swipe me. And then it would just sit there for another 8 hours. And then I'd just take a loss. When I would do well was when the market moves around like anybody else day trading, right? So anyway, it stopped working. So I had $4 million booked, and then you have a lifestyle, not making money. And then I did that, 0, right? So then I hung on for another 5, 6, 7, actually it was 7 years I held on, trying to reinvent my style. This is all before Bookmap. If I would have had Bookmap back then, that $15 million would have been $150 million. I can promise you that, but it wasn't available. So then I spent another 7 years trying to learn new methods, and I never could get any traction. I was at best a break-even trader, or make a little money, nothing that I could support my family with. So 2013, I had to say uncle. I have 2 little girls. They're not so little anymore. They're 18 and 13, but they were little at the time. I had a family. I can't just keep hoping I can make money. I had to leave the business. Then I got into medical sales, and from 2013 to late 2017-ish, 2018, I was in medical sales. So right now I'd be sitting in a doctor's office waiting to go in his office and kiss his ass, let him treat me like an a-hole, right? Like I'm some little peon. Little did he know I probably made more money in those 3 years than he'll make in his lifetime, right? That took talk about a hit to ego, guys, right? Talk about getting brought back down to earth. So not only was I not making money, right? And there's a saying out there, having money and losing it is 1,000 times worse than never having it at all. Because when you never have it at all, you don't know what you're missing. When you have it and then you don't have it, it's not so fun, right? So not only did I lose I didn't have any money left, right? Then I got to go in there and kiss doctors' asses and let them treat me like an asshole. Pardon my language. Like you get my point, right? So this is what my life was, right? So everything you see with me is completely real, right? So I've never once said. So back to this clown that came in my room. This was just a couple months ago. If you go on Trustpilot, you can see him. He's just literally. I've been blessed. There's been very few jackasses in my room. This guy was grade A jackass, right? So then he's like, post your stats, blah blah blah. Wow, your house is nothing to write home about. I mean, my house is fine. It's a $600,000 house. It's not a mansion. I've never claimed to be $1 million trader again, guys. I'm on my way back, but I have my own. I'm not backed by a firm. That's in the process right now for some of these strategies, but put that aside. I'm trading. Anybody that retail in here that's trading their own money, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't risk $5,000, $10,000 on a trade. Am I going to risk my family's life on a trade? No, right? So the point is, I was a multi-million-dollar trader. I did do this, and I'm on my way back to that. And as soon as I'm going to be getting backed by a firm, but I have all small accounts, so that leads me to the Apex stuff, right? So then I was trading my own accounts on these webinars for a couple years. And yesterday's webinar, anyone who's in there in my trade room is a perfect example. I had probably $4,000 of losing trades. One of them was gold that I forgot to cancel. It was an $1,800 loser. because on these webinars I'm going over all this stuff, right? And then I put in the orders like you hear me doing, and then I get filled and I'm supposed to move my stop, and then I get out of the trade and I forget the stops in there, and then I get filled into a number and I'm getting killed. So after about dropping about $30,000 on mistakes with my real accounts, I said, you know what? I don't need to be risking this to educate, right? Because I love educating, right? So it's like I don't need to be risking my life educating. So what I did was then I came up with, because I was just doing all of these kind of by the seat of my pants. So all these were in my head, but I never had anything documented. So I said, you know what? I'm sick of dropping money on mistakes because I'm trying to help you guys and educate you guys. I'm gonna assign Apex accounts. That leads me into this. This is, you should be doing the exact same thing, right? Here's the Apex. It's in that's the document I gave you. It's in here. Go to the website. They got a brand new website that I don't like because it's really annoying. You go over here, find the accounts. It starts to scroll on its own like that. Very annoying. Anyway, any sale they have, use Pulcini 50, you get the discount. So anyway, what I said right here, these 150 before it scrolls off the screen, I started to assign those accounts to these trading strategies, right? So it's a perfect scenario because if, like yesterday, the one account, I think it was the Izzy trade, whatever, it was a gold where I lost the $2,000 because I left the order and made a mistake. Okay, well, that account's not confirmed yet, or it's not live yet. A few of these have been live, and then the thing with Apex is it's great. I highly recommend it. It's the one I put my name behind. There's a bunch out there. This is by far, they do everything they say, but it makes it difficult because you have drawdowns and you blow out of the account, whether it's the trial or the live, right? So if you do the $150,000, you'll see, there it is. We'll see it as it goes by. This is really annoying how they have this. I don't know if I mentioned that. Anyway, right here, before it runs away, you got to make $9,000 before you lose 5, right? Great. Well, you can be up, and this has happened to me probably 20 times. I'd be up like $8,000. Nine's the threshold, right? And then I pull back 5, which happens all the time, right? And then I'm still up $3,000, and I blow out of the account. Well, I'm still profitable. That sucks. That's the rules. One of the few rules they have, and it does make you a better trader, right? Because you got to control your risk and make sure you don't have the drawdown. But anyway, I'm going to assign all these accounts an Apex account when they get funded. Then yes, it's real money, but I'm not like risking my life on mistakes. So it's like once these are funded, a couple of them are very close. Then if I say I make a mistake and I give back the $5,000, because that's basically what they account. That's the only thing I don't like about how they have this up. So this $150,000, let me grab it before it runs away again. It's a $5,000 account. It's not a $150,000 account, because if you lose $5,000, you're out, right? So the point is, it's a way for me to track my stats. But the other thing, guys, so this is it. So this is back to this guy yesterday that sent me 85 emails, or not that many, but he hasn't joined the room, and he's trying to get all this confirmation about it. And he's like, well, your trading stats, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, yes, once these are live, I'm going to hire someone so I don't have those stupid mistakes that I make. But this is the exact point I made yesterday in my trade room, right? So I lost like $2,000 on my mistake, $1,800 on that gold mistake. Is that indicative? So when you look at the stats and you see $1,800 and this is just hypothetical. Say my win rate was 61%, and that knocks it down to 56% and knocks my profit down 2,000. Is that indicative of the strategy, or is that indicative of me being a moron? See what I'm saying? So even right now with these stats, they're not accurate because I'm making mistakes, so on and so forth. Then you get, and this is the exact example I gave him yesterday. I said, and on top of that, I didn't give him all of this just because I'm not going to waste my time. If you're going to ask me a bunch of questions and not join the trade, you join the trade room, you can ask me anything you want. I'll give you everything I got. If you're not in my trade room, you can send me a question or two. Don't send me 14 questions because I'm not wasting my time. I got enough traders that actually want to learn and are in my trade room that I'm going to teach, right? But the point is, say you take that trade, right? Say I take this was a slug here, right? Perfect example. Say I take this trade, we both get in at the same entry, kind of like Lance does, right? And I say, I'm holding this thing, or he says, I'm holding this thing down to the blue lug. Let's just use this as a real example, right? And this will clarify a lot for you guys that just can't grasp this, that keep asking for stats and all this other stuff, right? Say he's like, I love the lugs. I think this is going to do something exactly what NQ did yesterday. I want to get in. I'm getting in or last night. I'm in at the blue lug, and I'm holding this puppy to the red lug. Fine, I have no problem with that. It's perfectly legit. Like, it happens all the time. It happened last night, right? I, on the other hand, got in the slug, and I said, you know what? Here's a yellow lug. I already got a half there, but say there was something else, and I got out of the full trade. I don't usually get out of the full trade. I only get out of the major lugs as well. But say I got out of the full trade. So say I do this, I make a $1,500 profit. I'm just making up numbers, right? And then this guy's still in it, and he's waiting for his 3R. Just say, remember when we talked about this, he's going for his 3R trade. And then it does that. He loses money on the trade. I make $1,500. Is that indicative of the strategy? How are you going to base what I am doing, statistics or money, on what you're going to do? This is where a lot of traders in my room are struggling too. They don't know where to go. That's why they wanted the interview or the webinar with Lance, because to see how he was doing things. They are profitable, and then some of them will hold. Some of them screw up their trade, and they're trailing their stop to break even. Do you see what I'm getting at? It doesn't matter what my winning percentage is or my amount of money made or whatever, as far as you trusting the edge. The edge is there. And what I say is, guys, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to get Bookmap. I want you to go back, run the days. You got 3.5 years of data feeds. If you join my room, you get the data feeds on your own computer, depending on what products but you get 20 different products. Go back, get this drawing tool. It'll draw them for you. Test them out yourself. Don't take my word for it. But if you're going to take that's the whole idea. I've been trading for 25 years. We just went over my trials and tribulations, making millions of dollars. You would think you would kind of listen to what I have to say. If you don't believe me, perfectly fine. Go and run it yourself. But for you to judge whether this stuff works or not based on my stats and my P&L, it has nothing to do with it, because you will find a way to screw up the trade more than likely. You see what I'm saying? So please do not send me messages about that. I'm not hiding anything, right? I will show you my trades. They're not. I had them in here for a while, and I just stopped doing it because they're not accurate, because I'm making stupid mistakes. I might even deleted them here. Yeah. Oh no, they're right here, right? Here's data. I stopped doing it because I'm like, this makes no sense, because these aren't real stats. Let's see. Actually, you can go right here. So this is the data trade, right? I was showing the P&L, and it was profitable, so on and so forth. But like the data trade, if I took the $1,800 loss yesterday, this would show me at a $400 profit. Is that indicative of the strategy, or is it indicative of me being an idiot? See what I'm saying? So we'll get these eventually, because you don't need, run the thing yourself and test them out yourself. You can replay, pull this up, you can trade. It's mock trading. Put the size in that you would trade, follow the rules, do a month straight on the product, and then you see for yourself, right? So that's my rant on that. It's just, you guys some of you just don't get it, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. You need to trust what I'm saying, that this stuff is the most powerful stuff you can ever use in your futures trading. And if you don't want to believe me, and that's another thing. I made people laugh the other day. This is when I was literally going on tilt, because I had all those mistakes, and I said something funny about, I've had numerous people in my trade room that leave the trade room and their exact words are, doesn't fit my trading style. What in the hell does that mean? So you're telling me understanding what's driving the market, understanding these volume areas and what's driving, that doesn't fit your trading style? Well, then you don't have a trading style that's going to make it, right? I'm not saying the way I trade them can't be, bettered, for lack of a better word. But if you tell me this doesn't fit your trading style, then you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? This is what drives markets, period, futures markets. So I used a different term. I'm not going to use it today. I was a little upset yesterday. If you come in my room, if you want to leave. Please don't tell me it doesn't fit your trading style. It makes no sense. That means you don't like what's really happening in the market to fit your trading style. Ridiculous. All right, that's my rant for today. I'm not gonna. My room got an earful of it yesterday. I kind of lost my mind. Like I said, I went on tilt. All right, nothing is going on, guys. Like, this has just been typical lately. And Fed guy's talking too, which is even more. Powell's talking. I know you got another Fed clown in 15 minutes too. So anyway, let's see I can't remember what I was doing here in my rant. So you guys got any questions or laughing at me for my I have good stories, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Could you reshare your screen to Discord? Thank you. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that. My bad. Hold on.
CW1 entered.
My bad. I don't know why this does this. Hold on. It just knocks me off. It says I'm streaming. Let's try it again. I think that's it. It's not making noise either. It usually makes noise and let me know it's connected. Alright, if you guys can't see it in the Discord, let me know. Sorry about that. Where did you post the Algo Guide videos? Didn't I post it in here? Yeah, dude, scroll up. Conscious Monkey, scroll up. It's 2 posts above you. Use your critical thinking skills. Thank you, long validated into his zone. So this is a long here. Thank you. So see, I would have missed this. This is what I want for my room. Algo Guy's bullish. Barks and Licks are on the table. This confirms as a bullish setup. I'll take Barks and Licks long. Right? And I'm waiting for the same with the ES, right? If I remember correctly. It feels like it was a week ago. Let's see. When I go on my rants, I forget. Forget what's going on here. Anyway, that does that. I'll still take that trade. Yeah, I mean, fill that liquidity, but there's more liquidity up there. I'll take. Actually, is there? No.
Paul says we are nowhere near.
Paul's still talking. I would take this lick trade. You can see what they did here too. I wonder who that is. You think that's them? Yeah, I would say that's them. So they obviously think, aka know, because they're going to push it up there. The market's going up there. So I will take Barks and Licks if that happens. Longs and ES. Conscious Monkey, no. No what? That's not the link? Well, let's see. So if I click on this link right here, you don't see this link right here. I don't know why it's not. Maybe this is the problem. It just has removed for me. Are you saying you can't click on it? I don't know what's going on. Right here. Try you. It might be because I posted it. I don't know. It's that link right there, right above where Bookmap says, "Hey Scott, could you reshare your screen to Discord?" Do you see that? It doesn't show. I'm sorry. All right, sorry for giving you a little verbal lashing there, saying use your critical thinking skills to take that back. I don't know why that's not showing. Did this one work? The interview with Lance? That's not working either. Huh. Not sure. Maybe if I log in with another... Let me try logging in with another account here. I don't even know I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't know. You guys, if you want those web, then just send me. I don't know if you guys, unless you guys can figure it out. I'm not technically inclined. I have no idea why it's not posting. Did it post this? This thing? Did it post that? I don't know what's going on, why they wouldn't post what I'm trying to post. Top right to change user account. All right, I'll give them to Dan. That might be it. That's probably it because it's through Bookmap, so they may have to approve this stuff. So I'm gonna send these 3 things to Dan real quick. Sorry guys, I mean nothing's going on. We're not missing anything. So let me send that in case that didn't post. So I'm gonna send this to Dan. That's the document. I wonder if this has not been posting every week. I wish someone would have told me. So that's that. And then let's go back and do this. This is the algo guy. Oh wait, first I want to do the next one is the webinar with Lance. This is also on my Twitter too. It's on my YouTube channel, but I'll post that too. Let's go here. Notifications. Here.
Do is take a little bit out of it every day.
Share.
And
Copy
the other
link.
thing that I see, a lot of you guys,
Right. Lance gave some verbal lashing yesterday too. It was fun to listen to. Let's go back to Dan here. Wait, where was Dan at? There he is. There's Close that. And then I will post.
Chances I expect there to be bank failures.
Paul's still talking. Like, how much could the guy say? Alright, and then what's the last? Oh, the algo guy. Then there was the Pamela Love. I know the Pamela Love one is on the YouTube. I'll find that too.
Small and medium-sized banks with the biggest exposure.
Hold on. Where was that? Janelle? Our resources. Alright, this is this. Sorry guys. We'll get this cleared up. Back to Dan. Give him this one.
MQ1 validated.
There's another one. And then let's see if we can find. So I know this is in the Discord room. Bookmap. If you go in here and go into my channel here. Let's see here. Again, I don't look at this until after, so don't post questions in here. That's not it. Scott, so it's where's my channel? There's a lot of channels in there now. I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Up here. There we go. Alright, so I think I put it in here too. No, I did, so that here you can get that in the pin messages in Discord. Why? Where's the Pamela Ludwig level? Could someone post that, please, in the trailer? I'm not gonna. Wait, I just saw Pamela. No, I know I posted it in here, guys. I just can't find it. See how many times I post this thing? The algo guy. Is this it here? No, that's just the link. So no one in my room has the Pamela Ludwig level video, I mean. I can't find it. Alright, if you want to send me an email, I'll find it later. Sorry to do all that during the webinar, but. Alright, so Bookmap. See, that's why I can't post anything. I gotta start remembering that. Alright, so did this retest here? Sure did. Alright, I need to be going long Barks and Licks here, and this is the price right here. I see at the bottom left, 70. What is this? Why can't I find, it should say aggressive long, 79 quarter. Struggling with this right here. There it is, 78.50. And the great thing about this tool too, we'll make sure the ATR is right, but I'm pretty sure it's spot on. This one's always usually pretty spot on. 23.61. Yeah, it's still off a little bit. This is showing 22.03. All right, but I should be getting filled right now. So I'm just getting, here's my position size. I can put on 4. These are Barks and Licks. So I'm going long. And I should be out of my Izzy. I got filled on Izzy. So I'm out of my Izzy and I'm going long Bark and Lick NASDAQ. Once again, I'm putting it on as this guy's talking. So I got to accept the consequences of my actions. All right. Alright, so this is perfect too. Now we have a new event. Now I can trail my stop immediately to this event. Right? So my stop was going to be down here. Here's a new event. Stop's right there. I'm going to move it out of that zone to right there. Put it at 40. So now I just saved myself 25 points of risk based on this new setup. That's how I trail my stops. So let me put these in so I don't forget, because I know that would never happen. 87, 90. Alright, those are working. So I did get filled, it looks like to the tick. I didn't even know I had it on. I got filled with a tick on that Izzy short. That's ridiculous. It happens to me 5 times a day. Remember, I put it below. I was going short that, and I put it outside the zone. Well, I got filled exactly. I just took a small loss on that. But I trailed it to that, and I'm out. And now I'm long Bark and Lick. And I trailed to that. And here's the first liquidity up here. I think there was more. I wouldn't have traded to that one. I don't think yet. I'm trading to that one. This one's too close. I mean, granted, it is This is 30 points away, so I will watch this liquidity closely for the lick trade. If it starts to fail, then I'll probably get out of those. But if it blows right through there, and that's where actually we haven't had tick strike on the entire day. It's another thing that I use. We haven't gone over market pulse today either. We only got about 5 minutes left, so I'm not going to get a chance to go over that today. But we talked about the main thing on market pulse. I use volume, pressure, balance. That's this. This is showing me I have it set to, just quickly. You go to market pulse. Awesome. They actually came up with this because of me. Thank you. You're welcome. I meant to say. Volume, pressure, and balance. They've taken it to a new level versus what I asked for, but it's awesome. So by volume, pressure, balance, the only thing I change it to 1 hour. So it's default. You bring it up. That's an hour. The other one is price change. Well, look at that. I'm sure that's just killing every trader today with whipsaws. That's this one. Which one is that? Like here's NQ price change. These are just default. So you start it up, you get it going, and everything is showing me 5-minute price change. So let's look at price change. We have strategies for this. Like I was telling you earlier, if you want to scalp, the only fighting chance you have, in my opinion, is using market pulse, volume, pressure, and balance, and or price change algo. Here's price change algo. So this is telling me every time there's an outsized price change, these algos come in and snap it back. It's ridiculous. It's hard to scalp off of by hand, but you can use this to help you time your entries and stuff off the position trading stuff, right? So you can see every time this thing spikes, the market reacts. Spikes, market reacted. Spikes, market reacted. Spikes, market reacted. I guarantee ES is even more pronounced. Let's see. So if you're going to scalp, that's what I recommend you use. Price change and volume pressure. And we talk about those strategies in my trade room constantly. Come in and learn. This is price change. Yeah, so let's just take a peek. So guys, it works until it doesn't work. The price change, they run the show, and then the big money comes in, it can price change for 30 points, right? So you got to be careful, but the point is, like this one kept going, and then it finally relented a little bit there. You got another one there, almost pull back there. Here's one, pop there, little pop. You got to remember, Powell's speaking too, so you may have some more like bigger money activity in here versus just the algos, but you can see every time this thing spikes, it goes the other way. But you don't know, like sometimes it goes 2 points, sometimes it goes 5, sometimes it goes 10. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Right? The other one, I have not not that I've mastered these yet, but I'm seeing ridiculous. There's going to be a course on this soon. This stuff. The other one is the order book and balance. I hope I don't crash my book map here, but this is showing you the games that they're playing with the order book. The whole reason you can't scalp off the order book, and we're going to see that here in a second. Let's get this going. There's a process to this. Watch the webinar with Bruce that I did. Dan should have that if you can post it. If not, then just email me. I'll send it to you. Let's wait for this to load up, and I'll show you. All right, Room is telling me something. What did I screw up? NQ is only validated long. Yes. I think you entered NQ bark like aggressive and did not validate. This validated. I mean, this came back and retested right there. So this yellow line is the retest line. It already read it off. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Hold on. Of course, I can't pull the alert page down. Actually, yeah, it did read it off. You're right, but that was real close. So I probably shouldn't have been in that. This is the line. So it's 10% of an ATR above the zone. Yeah, it didn't get there quite. You're right. Yeah, it looks like it got there to me. I don't know why it didn't read it off. I mean, it got there to the exact tick. See this yellow dotted line? That's the retest line. Well, regardless, I'm long. I see it retesting. It didn't read it off. So Powell's still talking. Here we go. Oh, now you got another one too. So now you got the tag team. You got the tag team circus act. So guys, this is what happens. They're talking. One guy's saying one thing. One dog looking this way. One dog looking that way. And the other guy is saying, "What do you want from me? Movie? If you get this movie, Your teacher's pet for the rest of the week. I'm talking to you, YouTube land. If you don't know that movie, you need to X out of the webinar right now. You all get Fs. Nobody knows the movie. One dog looking this way, another dog looking this way. The guy's saying, "What do you want from me?" Good fellas, you guys are pathetic. Anyway, my stop's right there. I'm fully ready mentally to be stopped out with these guys talking. All right, so the last thing I'll show you here, this is the order book imbalance. YouTube land, you should be ashamed of yourself not knowing the good fellas. You can't, if you are thinking about coming to my room, you cannot come in my room until you watch Goodfellas, Godfather, what's the other one I always use? Caddyshack. There's a bunch of them. All right, so let's see the games here. This is still loading. That's the problem. See how it's still loading. So hopefully this will load in the next minute or two. I gotta hop off here, but he's one of us. He's a good fellow. Well, Rick, if you know that line, you should have known the other line. Shame on you. You get an F. You can make up for it. There'll be other opportunities to make up for it. Oh, this is what I didn't want to do, right? I forgot about the red lug. So I just made a mistake here. What did I just say? This is what I'm talking about with the damn mistakes. Remember earlier, I said I wasn't going to take a long end of the lug? Well, I just took a long end of the lug. Like a complete moron. Maybe I can get out of these. Hold on a second. All right, I'm just going to get out right now. I didn't want to do that. If it blows through new lugs, it gives me new lugs, then I'll put it back. There's always another setup right around the corner, guys. That's what you got to remember. So I'm out. I don't need to let this come stop me out, especially with these guys talking into the lug. If it moves higher, I'm okay with it. There'll be new events. I'm fine with that. So that was almost another costly mistake on my part. All right, here you go. Here's quickly before we head off. This is just showing you the games they're playing with the order book. It has nothing to do with traded volume. It has everything to do with order book games. So how could you use this? Well, you can see where they're playing games, and then if they're not getting a response, that's telling you something, right? So let's see if we can find a couple here. So right here, it's happened twice now. So if it goes below, and this is the volume pressure, or order book pressure. It's this one here. It's down here somewhere. No, that's right here, order book pressure. This is all default. But you don't want imbalance because that's showing you net. Imbalance just means net. I have them for each, and you can see them here. So what happened up here? What could this have told me? Say this was an important area, like we've talked about this whole webinar, areas I get out, right? And I'm contemplating, all right, is this going to blow through here? Should I get out or should I not? Well, then you can look at the order book games. They pulled offers. That's the black. You can change the colors. This means if it's below the zero line, they're pulling offers. If it's showing the blue above the zero line, that means they're putting in bids. Well, what happened here? They pulled off. This is not traded volume. This is traded volume. These are market orders happening as the bubbles. They are playing games with the order book, pulling offers, putting in bids. The market doesn't really respond. They did it again. This didn't quite get to threshold. They did it again over here. Actually, that was here, but they tried it here again, almost. No dice. That's telling me they're giving the green light to buyers. They're pulling their bid. They're putting in bids and pulling offers, and no one wants to buy it. What is that telling you? And there you go. The thing dropped 6 points. I'm not saying trade off this solely, but you can see how you can use all this stuff together. Then throw in the price change algo. Like, guys, this all ties in, and this is what's driving the markets, right? Look up here. This is the same price, right? 58. Yeah, this is the market. I just made a copy of this. That's another great thing you can do. So this was price changing up into here, and then you get the price change algo, and then you see playing games does that, come up here, didn't quite get to threshold, but they tried it again. No dice. There you go. So now you got price change algo that's telling you can fade it, and they're playing games with the order book. No one's biting. If I was in a long position, I'd be like, I'm getting out of some here. I don't need to watch this thing come all the way back, knowing that information. This is it. I don't know what else people need to see. You are seeing everything as most as you can possibly see, right, as a retail trader, telling you what the hell's going on. You got your volume events. You got the market pulse. You got the I almost swore there. You got the order book games. What else do you need to see? Are you gonna email them and tell you this doesn't fit your trading style too? I mean, unbelievable. Guys, I can lead you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying overall that the traders that come in there and say this doesn't fit my trading style. I already went over that. I can lead you. What's the saying? Lead the horse to water. You can't make him drink. This is the water. Drink it. Drink the Kool-Aid. All right, that's it. I'm done ranting. There's a new webinar coming on too, so gotta go. See if there's any last questions. And I am out. Nope. You're welcome, demo trader. All right, guys, I do this. If you like my ranting, do it pretty much twice a day, every day. We haven't been having afternoon webinars lately because the trades absolutely suck, but this is all and don't ask me, don't complete another rant quickly. Do not send me an email asking for a trial to my room. There are no trials. There's too much information in that room that you get access to. I don't give trials. This is the trial. What I'm doing right here is exactly what I do, including the rants, in my trade room every day. Don't ask me for a trial because there's not a trial. That's all I got. I will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you.